Hello, loves. Welcome back to another episode of Magical Moments. Thank you for being here today. What I want to talk about today is life's defining moments. And what I refer to these as are the moments when we have a choice, right? We're pushed up against a decision that we don't want to make. And we are resisting, we are backpedaling, we are pretty much doing everything we can to not make a decision. We are pulling cards, we're using our pendulum, we're calling our mom, our best friend, we're talking about it to everybody, and yet inside we're really in a place of indecision. And these are defining moments, right? Who are you going to be inside of that moment and inside of that decision? And how are you going to let it change you? How are you going to decide and say, hey, no matter what happens, I'm in. I'm going to step into the fire. I'm going to step into the thing that is incredibly uncomfortable because I know that something needs to change. And if I don't do anything about it, then nothing's going to be different, or everything's going to be different in a way that I don't feel comfortable about, right? So inside of these defining moments, finding center, finding that place inside you where your intuition lives, that intuition, that knowing, that feeling, that sensation, that part of you that is on board, that does know how to make the decision, but that you're skirting around and you're kind of negating and you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if it's the right thing to do. There is a part inside you that does know that you're just scared, right? You're scared to say, hey, yes, I need to make this decision. But inside of this place where we are called to step into the fire, right? And we're called to quit our job. We're called to leave the relationship that is not working anymore. We're called to have a deep conversation with our parents that has been long overdue. We need to move. Where we are is done. Whatever these bigger places are, right? They define the quality of your life moving forward, the way you show up for those events, the way that you allow all of you to be present for those events defines the person that you are becoming, right? And there's a lot of talk of future self, right? And ego death, and how are you aligning with the version of you that you want to be in your life. And to me, the way that you align most quickly with that version of yourself is to step into the fire, to jump off the cliff, see how high you can fly, see how fast you can burn. Because as everything burns, as you take off, a new reality is created. And you are defined by the choices that you are willing to make. And yes, they're spicy. Yes, they are super uncomfortable and triggering and all the things. And yet they also are the very medicine that you need to uncover and discover within yourself in order to live that life that is calling to you, in order to be the person that you know you are becoming. And when we're in this place of resistance, right? Because this can happen so much on this path when we are looking to expand, where we're looking to grow and to move through the world in a different way. The thing that will move you on that path and through the resistance is being with the resistance, right? The part of you that's kicking and screaming and doesn't want to move and is giving your power away, right? Like disempowering you, because you do know ultimately you are in charge of your life. When you are embodied, when you are awakened, you're empowered. to make a choice, to do something different and to move your life and to become that person that you are growing into. But that happens by you being willing to be with all of yourself, to be in this resistance and to not wait, right? Why are you waiting to be that person? Why are you resisting? What is in the way? That is the nugget that is going to get you through. That is the key that will open the door to the portal that you are so trying to get through. It is allowing yourself to be inside of the uncomfortableness, inside of the not knowing, right? The uncertainty. That's such a big part of why we don't want to make a choice, is because we don't know what's on the other side of that choice, and we might not like it. Yet, we also might like it. And it's this place of, so like what I've experienced in life is that it's not that life gets easier. It's not that as we become more spiritually aware and intuitive, that all of a sudden there's no decisions to make or the world isn't having all this chaos in it, right? All those things are still happening. What we cultivate in ourselves is our ability to walk through the storm, feeling centered, being embodied, being empowered to make a choice rather than being frantically pulled in a million different directions and spinning and swirling inside of the chaos, right? Like we join the chaos that's outside of ourselves instead of being able to maintain that clear, centered place inside ourselves that is the key to pulling us forward. And so as we are traversing, right, the world is still happening. We are different. We are walking a path that feels more aligned. We are capable of handling and navigating whatever is swirling around us because we have practiced. We've practiced making fiery choices. We've practiced standing in the fire. We've practiced jumping off the cliff. We have practiced and we practiced and we've practiced. And so therefore, as the chaos ensues, we are on the path. We are centered and we know that the direction we are going. And that comes from making the choice. It comes from showing up for the thing that is the defining moment, right? The more defining moments you practice, the easier it is to hold the space to walk towards what you're going towards. And it's not about the outside world anymore. It's about your inside world and what is going on within you. And then that becomes aligned with your path, with where you're going. And so you learn how to navigate inside the space of your defining moments. And time again, they define you, and then you become the definition that you set out to be. Thanks for being here.